Farmers should harvest corn silage when it contains about 30 to 34% dry matter. This means the plant and grain are made up of about 70% water. There's a quick and easy method to determine this. Just break apart an ear of corn and look for the milk line.
So by looking the grain, so you go out of the field, you get a cob, break it out, look at the cob, and you're going to see that milk line. If it is at 3/4, then you say, okay, it's ready.
This is a quick and easy way to decide when to chop silage and can allow a farmer to decide which parts of a field to chop and or to leave for later. There's a more accurate way to do this with a microwave and a scale. Either way, the chop should be done at about 70%. It's also really important to set the chopper correctly, particularly the rollers.
So those rollers, the distance between the two rollers, it's going to be around 0.1 inches or 3 millimeters. So that is pretty much processing all the corn grain that is coming through those rollers. So that's why we say it's processing. So what we want to do, we want to damage the corn grain, because remember that you have the corn grain and around it there is the pericarp that is protecting the starch. If we don't damage the pericarp and expose the starch, whenever the cows are eating this inside the rumen, then the bugs or the bacteria will not have access to ferment that and give the volatile fatty acids to the cow, and that's what is nourishing the cow.
Making sure the grain is damaged or processed is a vital step in making good silage. We'll call setting the rollers to 0.1 inches or about 3 millimeters step 1.
Secondly, what we need to do is, what is the size of the particle and that you're going to have on that material, okay? If we have it too long, whenever it goes to the silo, it's harder to compact. So imagine that you have a lot of hay or straw and you're trying to make something really compact. You're going to have a lot of air inside, so it really doesn't compact, and that bothers fermentation. If you cut it too short, the particle size, that's going to be great for the silo and for fermentation. You're going to really be able to compact that. However, cows are not going to be able to have that effective fiber that stimulates the rumen. So everything that is less than 3/4 of an inch doesn't stimulate the rumen of the cow. Like, for example, grain, corn grain or soybean meal, when we give to the cow, that doesn't make the rumen move. That's why cows, we need to give hay, we need to give haylage, corn silage. So we think that 3/4 of an inch, that's where you have your best size, that is going to still stimulate some rumination, and you're going to be able to compact that.
However, this 3/4 inch length means the plant must be harvested at the right moment, and we've returned to the 70% moisture. It's not easy to get it all right. Chop at about 70% using very sharp knives to get the cut to 3/4 of an inch, and set the rollers to about 0.1 inches, so 90% of the kernels are damaged. For University of Illinois Extension, I'm Todd Gleason.